Memorial Day, this military appreciation night at Dodger Stadium. We welcome you inside. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Joe Davis, Nomar Garciaparra. Kirsten Watson joins us in a moment. The Dodgers come off of this 4-6 road trip. Good to be home. They take on the Washington Nationals, and 4-6, not what they wanted on the trip. But one thing that continued to go great, Freddie Freeman, the longest active hitting streak in baseball.
Freddie Freeman, he makes me chuckle. The reason I chuckle is because when I talk to Freddie Freeman and his thought process, it's very old school. You know, he thinks about just being consistent, cares about average, kind of hitting a 300 average. He talks about wanting to be forgotten out there. Somebody that you know you can just count on. You pencil his name in. You know his numbers are going to be there year in, year out. Somebody that you don't talk a lot about. Well, we got to talk a lot about him. He's got a 17-game hitting streak and hitting over 400 to do that. So when you're doing those things, you're hard to be forgotten.
And he's key in an offense that was not the problem during the trip. They scored more than 6 runs per game. The problem was that the pitchers had an ERA above 7. They're the happiest group to come back here to Dodger Stadium, where they've been the best pitching staff at home in baseball.
Yeah, you know what? That happens sometimes, but you'd rather be dominant more at home than on the road. You want to be about 500 on the road, and right now the Dodgers are 500 on the road. But at the same time, why do they pitch so well? Sometimes it could be the environment. You're at your home clubhouse, your preparation, and it's also Dodger Stadium, the environment, the energy that the fans bring, the excitement, the best pitcher's mound, and also infield and all of baseball as well. And Bobby Miller's going to get that. It's going to be another opening day for him, putting on that Dodger blue in front of this great home crowd.
Yeah, made his big league debut in Atlanta last week, makes his Dodger Stadium regular season debut tonight in the first of 3 between the Dodgers and the Nationals. And we've got first pitch coming up on Sportsnet LA. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today and shop NissanUSA.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try the Ribeye Steakhouse burgers now at Jack in the Box. Dodgers and Nationals ready to go. First of a 3-game series. And before first pitch, here's Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. Well, yesterday we saw Max Muncy exit the game early with a hamstring cramp. He told us that he wanted to stay in there, but he started running a little bit differently, and so the team felt like it was the best decision for him to come out of the game so they could get ahead of it, so it wouldn't turn into anything more serious like a strain. Today, the good news is that he is feeling so much better. He actually did not end up needing an MRI, and the team is hopeful that he will be back in the lineup tomorrow.
All right, Kirsten, tonight it's going to be Bobby Miller, who made his major league debut in Atlanta last Tuesday. 5 innings, just 1 run. It became the first Dodger in 7 years to win his debut. Got to go back to Jose De Leon in 2016 to find the last guy that did that. And the lineup that he'll face off with in his Dodger Stadium debut looks like this. Lane Thomas leads off, and then Luis Garcia at second base hitting second. Jeimer Candelario signed a 1-year contract, having an excellent season so far for Washington, with Joey Meneses batting cleanup and DHing. The longtime New York Met, the Southern California native Dominic Smith bats 5th and starts at first. Corey Dickerson's in left. Former Dodger Keibert Ruiz catches and bats 7th, and then C.J. Abrams and Alex Call finish things out against Bobby Miller, whose debut for the Dodgers was really impressive, and there's a lot of excitement around this start tonight.
Well, he throws 100, Joe. You should be excited.
Yeah. Off we go with 100, and he gets the call at the top of the zone.
I told you, he's going to throw 100. That's what the excitement is. But I'll tell you what was really impressive about his major debut is that he was throwing 100, average around 99 miles an hour with that fastball all through the 5 innings.
Off the hands here. Mookie Betts tested right away and up to the challenge for the first out of the game.
Yes, that was Mookie Betts at short, just where you're wondering. So, yes, he's back in there.
Dodgers unbeaten, by the way, when Mookie starts at shortstop.
But the other thing that was so impressive about Bobby Miller in that first game was, you know, Atlanta, seemed like they were on that fastball. We know hitters, big league hitters, can eventually time a bullet. You know, they'll make the adjustment. But he made the adjustment over the course of the game, started using his secondary stuff and keeping them off balance, and looked really good.
First one to Luis Garcia. Fastball at 100 to the corner for a strike. Yeah, 3 of the 4 hits that he gave up were on that fastball. A lot of them came in that first inning. But then rest of the game, they were 1 for 11 against everything else. How many times do you see a guy get to the major leagues on the strength of an overwhelming fastball and then be too stubborn, be too hard-headed to change when the big leaguers do time the bullet? Well, that wasn't the case with him. He showed off a wide arsenal. It's a changeup right there that misses, ball 2.
And understanding. I mean, you throw 100. I mean, I'm sure you're going, this is how I got there. And listen, he goes out there and he pitches with a lot of emotion.
100 tapped along first. Miller is there. 2 up and 2 down.
When you talk about the emotion he goes out there and pitches with, there are times you look at him and it looks like his hair is on fire. He's going out there, he's fiery. But it's a matter of channeling that emotion into your pitching. You know, playing behind guys like that, it brings it out in you as well. You're fired up as long as they're controlling it. They're controlling the strike zone. They're pounding the zone to keep you on your toes and ready to make plays behind them.
2 up, 2 down in this first inning. Strike 1 on Jeimer Candelario. And Bobby said, Nomar, to your point, as confident as he might have looked in Atlanta, beneath that, he was really nervous, and he really had to focus on his breathing, telling himself, this is the same game I've always played. And the other thing that he relied upon was Will Smith. He said he didn't shake Smith a single time through those 5 innings. And so when you talk about him adjusting, really he was following Will Smith's guidance.
And a lot of that also happens in between innings, too. Sitting down next to each other, you know, you start getting that rapport, the confidence. I'm sure Will Smith was talking about, okay, here's the adjustment we're going to make. Here's why. Him buying into it and understanding that as well.
His 2-1 takes off on him, ball 3. Candelario swings and misses. Count goes full.
In that first outing, it was, okay, here's my fastball. Let me challenge you with it. Maybe go through the lineup. Here it is. See how he can start getting used to it.
Fouled into the glove, strike 3 to finish off a 1-2-3 first. Bobby Miller in his Dodger Stadium debut with a perfect first inning. In his 17-game hitting streak, Will Smith catches, bats 3rd. JD Martinez has a 12-game hitting streak of his own. He's followed by Peralta and Hayward, with Vargas at 2nd. James Outman in center field, and Chris Taylor starts at 3rd base with Max Muncy getting the day off, resting that hamstring. Trevor Williams, who's 31 years old, out of San Diego, came to games here at Dodger Stadium when he was a kid, and has put together a solid big league career. He's in his 8th year now. First one with the Washington Nationals, and proof here tonight, Nomar, that no two big leaguers are exactly the same. There are a lot of different ways to success.
Yeah, and he knows how to pitch. I mean, what you're talking about is you're seeing 89 miles an hour right there. You're probably thinking he's leading off with a change. No, that's what his fastball averages, around 89 to 90 miles an hour.
Cued to 2nd, Luis Garcia to get bats.
And that's also what he does. He misses the barrel of the bat. He's not a big high strikeout guy. Pitches to contact, pounds his own, relies on movement with his fastball. He's got a sinker, he's got a slider, he's got a changeup. He's not going to light up the radar gun, but as you mentioned, he's been around. He's a veteran pitcher who knows how to pitch.
Gets one former MVP, faces another here in Freddie Freeman, who promptly bangs one on the ground to 2nd, and he'll get Freeman on 1 pitch. 2 outs on 4 pitches.
Both Freddie and Mookie both hit that off the end of the bat.
That's the thing. I mean, you talk about the velocity not being good. It's around 90, but he calls himself a thinking man's pitcher. Preps very hard, keeps detailed notebooks on all the hitters that he faces, and likes to think that he has a knack for reading swings and overcoming some of the less than overwhelming stuff. Doesn't get the call there. 1-0 on Will Smith.
When are facing pitchers there that have unbelievable stuff like we see Bobby Miller. Like, all right, let's get that bat going early. You know it's going to be hard. You know you got to adjust to good breaking stuff. And then there's also those pitchers where you were facing. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a chess match. You know, oftentimes where, you know, maybe if you get a 3-0 count, am I going to swing? Am I not? But they're reading your body language. So sometimes you have to think about yourself, like, what am I telegraphing to the pitcher? You know, we talk about pitchers having tells. Like, some of these pitchers know when the hitter has a tell. Like, oh, he's taking right now. And they just groove one right there. Like, how did he know I was taking that
it's
time?
in my head.
Yeah.
Outside 2-2. I've heard Oral describe a guy like this, facing a guy like this, as a comfortable collar.
Yeah, these guys, there are times where you go back and you walk home and you're going, wait, I was 0 for 4 today. You know, I didn't get a hit. Like, wait a minute, I saw the pitches, I just didn't hit them. You know, square them up on the barrel.
And Williams has been exactly what the Nationals thought they were getting when they signed him to a 2-year contract. They've won 4 of his last 5 starts, beat the Padres his last time. Home with a 2-2 to Smith, and a fastball gets him swinging. He's got a 1-2-3 first inning on 10 pitches, and we're off and rolling. Pitch. As we continue the story on these 2 starting pitchers, very different. Bobby Miller touched 107 times in that first inning, averaged close to 100 in Atlanta last week. Trevor Williams around 90. But both guys 1-2-3 in the first inning. Joey Meneses to begin the second for the Nationals, and he swings at a fastball, grounds it through the right side for a leadoff base hit.
Sitting over there watching the first inning going, all right, well, he's pounding the zone and he's going to come at you with this fastball and a hard one. Well, he wasn't going to waste any time. Gets a fastball in the outer half. He just kind of puts the barrel on it, goes the other way.
And that is kind of what these Nationals do. They're #1 in baseball when it comes to making contact. They've got the #1 average in the National League. There just is no power at this point. Dominic Smith to the plate. Takes a change up low, 1 ball, no strikes, and that style has allowed them to exceed expectations so far. It's a group coming off a 107 loss season last year, but over the last month has been above 500. One.
Right there we see Bobby already going to the sinker. I think in that first inning he made the adjustment. It wasn't always just his 4-seamer. He did that against the Braves, and we talked about how they were making contact, and then he was utilizing the sinker more as he made the adjustment as the game goes on. He did that early on in this game, saying, okay, let's go with the sinker, get a feel for that as well, feel for his fastball. I'm sure he has command of that.
Wanted the call there, didn't get it from Todd Tichenor. Home with a 2-1 pitch, way outside this time, ball 3. His first time pitching on this mound in a regular season game, but his last 2 times in this ballpark, memorable games for him. Started the Futures game here last summer, struck out the side, and spring training last year, Freeway Series last year, struck out Ohtani here. Fouled off, and it's 3-2. Still just 24 years old in the major leagues after a total of 8 starts at the AAA level, 180 minor league innings total. Here's his 3-2, and it's corked down the left field line. Peralta on the move to the corner, can't get it, but a foul ball. Just foul. Peralta upset with himself, though.
Peralta ran a long way to try to get this ball. Looked like he had a beat on it. I mean, he's sprinting over there, and he takes just a little angle, a different angle right at the end. He thought he was going to cut it off and had to go back a little further and just gets it off the heel of his glove. That's what's frustrating. It's one thing to get off the tip of it. You're like, okay, I just didn't reach far enough. But when it's off your heel, you're going, gosh, I hit my glove. I should have held on to that ball. It's great effort. Wasn't easy. Good thing it was foul.
So another 3-2 coming from Bobby Miller to Dom Smith. Fastball to the knees to ring him up. Second K for Miller, 1 away in the second.
Dominic Smith wasn't happy thinking that was a ball, but that was a great pitch. Perfect location, 100-mile-an-hour fastball right there down at the bottom part of the zone.
One on, one out. Corey Dickerson comes up. And a first pitch changeup.
Dodgers have scouting reports as well. They know guys that like to be aggressive on that first pitch. That's something that they go over with each other. It's like, hey, I know you like to maybe get that first pitch strike. You like to come out with that hard stuff, but some of these guys are going to be looking for that. So let's be ready. Let's trust that we can possibly throw that changeup just like that. Great pitch to these guys who might be aggressive, who are looking for the 100. Because, yeah, if I'm facing a guy like Bobby Miller for the first time, I don't want to get behind in the count.
And there are a lot of guys in this Nationals lineup, regardless of who they're facing, pretty aggressive hitters. Part of the reason why their strikeout rate is so low. They're not getting the 2 strikes. Although Dickerson does here, 1-2. Corey Dickerson in his 11th year. He's with his 8th team in those 11 years. On the 1-2 for Miller. He pulls one down the line. That is a fair ball. Into the corner, all the way to the wall. Hayward grabs it now. Meneses stops at third on a double from Corey Dickerson.
I think they were fortunate that they held him up at third. I thought they might try to send him. There is just 1 out, so I can understand why they held him. 2 outs are definitely going to go for it. But at first, when I saw Hayward go for this ball, see right there, he thought maybe he was going to get into another gear, and then they held him up. Like that, he's at third base with less than 2 outs. I'm sure that factored in. But Hayward got to the ball. I thought he was going to cut that off, and then it ended up going to the wall, and then kind of getting stuck there.
Second and third for Ruiz. First pitch curve misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Keibert Ruiz, of course, made his debut with the Dodgers. Hit a home run in his first swing in the big leagues, and then was a key piece in the trade for Max Scherzer and Trey Turner at the deadline in 2021. He's got Meneses at third, Dickerson at second, and pops this one up. And foul ground. Smith has room. Just as good as a strikeout for Bobby Miller.
Big out right there for Bobby Miller. Great job by Will Smith. The concentration staying on that pop fly. There was a little fist pump by Bobby Miller when you saw that Will Smith caught that ball.
And now a chance to get out of this inning for Miller unscathed. Second and third, 2 gone. C.J. Abrams up. Now the Nationals world champs in 2019, 3 consecutive last place finishes since, as they've torn it down, rebuilt the system, and gotten guys like this. C.J. Abrams, who was the 6th pick of the draft a few years ago with the Padres, was one of the key pieces coming back in the Juan Soto deal. And he is the everyday shortstop already. Yeah, doing some good things here in his 2nd season, having just turned 22 years old. On a 2-0 from Miller. Pulls it sharply through, and the Nationals are on the board first. Meneses in to score. Here comes Dickerson. Hayward's throw. Perfectly done to get him at home. Outfield assists Jason Hayward. But a 2-out RBI single for C.J. Abrams has the Nationals on the board first. Save a run.
Well, this will give a rookie some confidence when you know you have defense behind you making great plays like this. Excellent job getting to the ball, head down, and just a perfect strong throw to home plate. 1 hop. Great tag by Will Smith. You know, Bobby Miller is going out there high-fiving, saying thank you very much, Jason.
Makes it stay 1-0. And J.D. Martinez leads off the second, and as good as Freddie Freeman has been lately with a 17-game hitting streak, J.D. pretty darn good as well.
Looks like did he call a timeout, or did they call a pitch clock violation there?
Well, I think that Williams is starting to come home before Martinez is ready. So they just put the hand up and said, easy now, Trevor. Everybody's ready. And pinpoint for strike 2. So Freddie's got his 17-game hitting streak. Martinez has a 12-gamer where he's hitting .340. 5 home runs and 15 knocked in those 12 games. But quick work made of him here by Williams, who's got his 2nd K. 1-0 Nationals, one gone second inning. Here's David Peralta, who's hitting .283 this month after he was well below .200 in his first month with the team. Takes inside, ball one. Offense not the problem for the Dodgers on the trip. They had the 10 runs on 12 hits yesterday, hit 5 home runs. They scored more than 6 runs per game on the trip, but the 4-6 record mostly because of the pitching, with an ERA above 7. On 2-0, Peralta flies it foul.
Well, as a team collectively, you know, as far as an offense is concerned, like, hey, we're swinging the bats well. We're going out there, and that's just one of the things that you want to continue. You're going, all right, you look at your record. I think over there in St. Louis, maybe if they've gotten a split, I think that would have been a really critical one, especially going to the other 2 teams they were playing after that.
Abrams, long way to range, and that ball had eyes to get Peralta on base. First base runner for LA.
Good spot. Abrams gets to this ball, and as he was in his exchange, he just kind of lost the ball, but it would have been a tough play because Peralta, being a lefty, can also get down the line to try to come up this and throw across his body to get it over there. It would have been a tough play, but it was a great effort right there by Abrams. Just couldn't hold on to it.
It is a base hit for Peralta, and it's Hayward at the plate. Chopping the first pitch to first. Smith goes to second, one, and they turn a double play. One of the ways the Nationals are much better than they were in the 107 loss last year is the infield defense.
For those brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country, go to MLBtogether.com to learn more about how you can support military families grieving the loss of a loved one.
9-1-2 for the Nationals in this third inning. Alex Call lays down a bunt, first pitch, foul, and strike one. Call, who's in his second season with the Nationals. They got him off waivers last year from Cleveland, where he had made his debut after 7 minor league seasons out of River Falls, Wisconsin, just outside of Minneapolis. Slider to the corner, and it's 0-2. Miller kicks and fires way outside this time. Now Bobby, after winning his big league debut, post-game celebration, showered with a concoction of shampoo and beer, all the condiments from the kitchen. He said it was nasty as you can imagine, and I loved it.
That's the way the team's welcoming you, embracing you, congratulating you, and it's all part of it.
2-2 pitch. Climbs the ladder on 100, sends it in the air to right field for Jason Hayward in the first out. Well, he arrived earlier than maybe not you would have thought when he was drafted in the first round, but as he missed a lot of spring training with the shoulder soreness, struggled out of the gates in AAA, then kind of forced into pitching in the major leagues because of the injuries the Dodgers have dealt with in the rotation. Lane Thomas takes the ball, but certainly didn't look the other night like he had been rushed here.
No, you're right. I mean, I think he got off to a slow start. You know, obviously coming off with some of that, dealing with that shoulder issues early in spring. But right before he got called up, he was pitching really well. His last couple of outings, going out there, the walk rate was down. He's pounding the zone, getting a lot more swings and misses, a lot more strikeouts, more like himself. And that's important because when you're feeling that way, when you get called up, you want to have that confidence when you come up. It's one thing to be able to say, well, I throw 100. Of course you should have confidence, but it's another thing to have the success backing it as you're making your major league debut.
For the golfers out there, think how you're feeling when your buddy asks you to go play around after you've had like a great few rounds versus, man, I'm shaking everything off at the tee. I don't know if I really want to go out and play.
Yeah. That's why I don't want to go out and play.
Yeah, that's right. Shanking them. 3-1 pitch. Thomas on the ground to third, off of the knuckles, and Chris Taylor throws him out.
Number 2, Luis Garcia.
2 away in this third inning. Luis Garcia to the plate. Just turned 23 years old. That's hard to believe given that he's been around for a while. Debuted as the youngest player in the majors in 2020. He just turned 20 years old and has spent about half of the season each year in the major leagues. At this point, the everyday second baseman. He's continued to get better offensively. The defense has made big strides as well. And again, he just turned 23. On a 1-1 pitch. Change to the knees, 1-2.
Good spot right there. It'd be really important for some of his secondary pitches to start throwing those for strikes, because I think early on, you know, the National, they're recognizing like, well, we saw him have somewhere he bounced and really spiked coming that changeup, and you can kind of see him kind of going through his motion like, oh, just can't get that release point. Well, when a guy throws this hard and I can start eliminating some of his secondary pitches, then I just get to look for one speed. It's like, well, the fastball is really the only thing he's throwing for a strike. Sit on that and try to lay off his other stuff.
2-2. Garcia shoots one in the air the other way. Peralta's going back on it. Edge of the track. He's got it. 1-2-3 third inning. Bobby Miller. 1-0 game to the last of the third.
The Dodgers take on the Chicago White Sox and be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance to receive a Clayton Kershaw bobblehead presented by Spectrum. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
All right, Kirsten. 1-0 game here, bottom 3. Bottom of the Dodger order against Trevor Williams. 1 ball, 1 strike on Miguel Vargas. Williams has faced the minimum through 2 innings on just 18 pitches. This guy who the Dodgers have seen many times before, including one very memorable night, 2017. He was on the other side of Rich Hill's near perfect game in Pittsburgh. Trevor Williams was part of the problem because it was like, okay, Rich is perfect, but they don't have any support because Trevor Williams threw 8 scoreless innings that night. 31-year-old in his 8th year now. Vargas sends one in the air to right center field. Call to the gap for the first out. Started off in Pittsburgh, 5 seasons there. Then he went to the Cubs for half a season, traded to the Mets. Last 2 seasons in New York, and then signed a 2-year contract with the Nationals.
You know, just watching him pitch right now, I mean, he's doing an excellent job keeping the Dodger hitters off balance, hitting the corners.
Outman with a base hit to right. Didn't wait around. He snaps an 0 for 18 skid with a 1-out single.
See, as I say that, then you get a hard hit, base hit. So, Outman heard me, but great job. Ball in inner half, getting the barrel to that ball, pulling him in nicely, getting the head out there. Just finding a hole. Now just got to continue it. Keep passing the baton. David Peralta going, yes. And yeah, I'll tell you, when you're on that 0 for 18, you feel it as a hitter, and you're going, all right, get that one out of the way, get the ball.
I think the last time James had a long 0 for going, he snapped it with an infield single, and later that day had the game-winning grand slam. One ball, no strikes on Chris Taylor, coming off his game of the year. Reaching every time that he was up there, hitting 2 home runs. And even though the average not good, he's striking out too much. Overall, hasn't felt like a great season. When you look at the home runs, he's within 1 of his total from last year. On a 2-0 from Williams. He hits one in the air to left. Dickerson moving towards the corner. Just hooked this one off the end of the barrel. And he's out number 2.
He just missed that, Joe. I was about to say, and he just tied from last year. Because, man, when he looking at that ball coming in and looking at his swing, right when he swung, here it is, right in the heart of the plate. I mean, it was a mistake. They wanted that ball away, and you're supposed to capitalize. And you see him put his head down. He knew it. He goes, oh, I just got that off the end of the bat. He would hit that a long way. Talking about a game of inches. About an inch or 2 more on the barrel, and that's in the bullpen.
One ball, no strikes on Mookie Betts. Grounded to second his first time. Mookie had reached in 14 consecutive games before an 0 for yesterday. Part of an excellent month of May.
Remember I was talking about how some pitchers just are able to read hitters. This is what, like, these type of counts, like the 2-0, seeing, okay, is he going to be aggressive? Do I take some up? Do I throw the fastball? And it comes right at him right there going, okay, are they reading the hitter a little bit? Are you showing that, oh, I may be looking in one particular zone, or my body, maybe I take it easy, think he's going to throw me an off-speed pitch, so I'm going to take.
Outman runs. No throw and a stolen base. The Nationals have not been very good controlling the running game, and Outman steals second, tying run into scoring position.
As a right-handed hitter, you can kind of see at your peripheral when your runner gets a good jump. And then you already have one strike and you're going, okay, you naturally kind of take because you want him at second. You're like, and then you're happy when it's a ball. And you're in a 3-1 count. And you're like, all right, here's my hitter's count, 3-1, and he takes something off of it.
So Betts has taken a couple strikes here. Outman at second, 2 gone, and a 1-0 game in the third. A 3-2 from Trevor Williams. Mookie Betts takes way outside. Ball 4 to give Freeman a chance. First walk of the game issued by Williams. And here is Freeman. With a 17-game hitting streak, he's second behind Luis Arraez in batting average. He's second behind Ronald Acuna in on-base plus slugging. Pick a stat, pick a pitch type, pick a handedness, left, right, both, doesn't matter. He hits you. Fouls this one off. Seriously, just pick any stat. Okay, but how about stolen bases? Well, he leads the team in stolen bases.
And right now, Freddie Freeman is going, I don't care about any of those right now. All I'm thinking about is I have to find a way to get that man in from second base.
Got another stat for you, too. He's the #1 2-strike hitter in baseball. Now this 0-2 from Williams. He takes inside, ball 1. Two and two. Outman at second, Betts at first, 2-2 to Freeman. Digs it out and stays alive.
Good job by Freddie Freeman, just getting a piece of that. I mean, right now you're protecting with 2 strikes. That ball started off kind of low part of the zone, looked like it was going to be a strike, and then it started just falling out, and he does a good job just kind of staying alive.
And so another 2-2, and he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2.
That was the exact same pitch that he stayed alive on. I mean, that's impressive. To foul the pitch off before and then recognizing it the second time, knowing that it's going to be a ball and fall out of the zone.
There go the runners. Here comes the 3-2. It's a bouncing ball to second for Luis Garcia, and Williams gets out of the third inning unscathed. Where all your charbroiled burger wishes come true. Well, it's turned into a really nice night here at Dodger Stadium. Kind of overcast today. May gray turning into June glooms early or later this week. But it's a pretty nice night. 1-0 Nationals in front. 3, 4, and 5 coming up against Bobby Miller, who misses upstairs to Jeimer Candelario. The Dodgers saw last year when the Detroit Tigers were here. So Candelario spent most of his career. He's had some good seasons there, had some rough seasons there. Signed a 1-year contract with the Nationals, trying to recapture some of the things he had done earlier in his career in Detroit. And through 2 months, mission accomplished for Candelario, who's been in a lot of ways their best player. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the 29-year-old, now in his 8th year in the major leagues, actually began with the Chicago Cubs, where the bench coach was Davey Martinez, who's now his manager. 2-2. Candelario, not a guy whose name you hear a lot about, but 2020 and 2021 in Detroit, he led the American League in doubles. On this 2-2, golfs one to right. No big deal for Jason Hayward. And Candelario is the first out of the 4th.
Bobby Miller did a good job getting back into that at bat where he was down 2-0, gets 2-2 count. He actually makes a good breakable. I didn't know how Candelario ended up getting when he started to swing. Got a piece of that, but it was also just a weak fly ball. It's okay to pitch to contact, not a bad thing.
Meneses, strike 1.
Good job right there. We talk about how these national hitters have been aggressive on the first pitch, so it has to be a quality first pitch. Not to throw a ball, but to throw a strike. That was a perfectly located pitch.
How about a 93-mile-per-hour slider? Now he takes a little off, and it's 91, and it's a grounder to Vargas for out number 2. Yeah, I think we talk about from his first start, his willingness to go to the other parts of his arsenal, obviously very impressive, but for the most part, his command when paired with 100 has been very impressive.
And that's important. We were just talking about early on where I said his secondary pitches in that first inning isn't really first inning and a half. It's not a lot of balls. It didn't look like he had a feel for his changeup and his other breaking balls. So in the dugout, you're talking about that. Hey, just look hard stuff. He can't control his other stuff. It's just going to rely on that fastball. Now that he's showing he's throwing strikes, now all of a sudden it's making that 99-100 look even harder because now I have the off speed in the back of my head.
0-2 very quickly on Dom Smith, who took strike 3 called his first time as finish off a long at bat. And Bobby's a guy who they say is always trying to get better, always looking for that little way that he can improve from season to season, from start to start, from inning to inning. Home with another 0-2. Line drive, base hit right center. Hayward hustles over, not going to be able to cut this one off, and Smith has extra bases. It's a 2-out double.
This one, he just missed this spot. That was right over the heart of the plate. It was an off-speed pitch, but it was just right there. Just kind of hung. He wanted it more on the corner, didn't get it there. Important for Bobby Miller now to just kind of take a deep breath, refocus, and make sure that 2-out double doesn't hurt you.
Facing a guy that doubled against him last inning. And Corey Dickerson, and a first pitch changeup, gets a swing and a miss. Same thing he did against Dickerson last time.
In a good spot for it, down in the zone, and it started off as a strike.
Got it off the end of the barrel on a routine bounce to Vargas to finish off the 4th. 1-0 game here in the series opener between the Dodgers and the Nationals. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by USAA. Join us in honoring our nation's fallen heroes. And that is exactly what these two teams do here. We've gotten word that Trevor Williams planned to take a moment to himself before the 4th inning and was willing to take a pitch clock violation. as his way to give a nod to those that have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice. Where the two teams join him. Umpires do as well. Everybody on board on this Memorial Day. And so he goes back to work in a 1-0 game with Will Smith the lead off. And he gets it by him for strike one. He did something not many guys do against Will Smith last time. Struck him out. Smith came into the game as the only guy in baseball with twice as many walks as strikeouts. And Williams not a guy who normally gets many Ks. Chopper to third for Candelario. Just in time at first.
That's what Williams gets. He gets the ball at the end of the bat, gets the ground ball, puts the ball in play, utilizes his defense. He's doing an excellent job so far doing that.
It's a guy who has been traded a couple times in his career. In fact, one time was traded for a pitching guru. When he was at the Marlins in 2015, Marlins traded him to the Pirates in exchange for Jim Benedict, who was the VP of pitching development in Pittsburgh. There's another minor leaguer involved in the deal, but really the exchange was Williams for the guru. 1 ball, 1 strike on JD Martinez. Now, the Dodgers once traded a catcher for a future Hall of Fame broadcaster. 1948, Red Barber had some health problems, and so they were looking for somebody to pair with Connie Desmond. And Branch Rickey had heard a minor league broadcaster in Georgia that intrigued him. And so when a spot opened, he called the GM of this team and he said, "Hey, I want your broadcaster." Well, the GM said, "Okay, but I want a catcher." And so they came up with a deal where the Dodgers sent a minor league catcher named Cliff Dapper to Atlanta, and Atlanta sent Ernie Harwell to the Brooklyn Dodgers. And of course went on to become a Hall of Famer. Grounded foul, stays 1 and 2. He was there for 2 years. He left to go to the Giants, and they needed another guy. That's when Vin Scully got his chance. The 1-2. Ball 2.
I'm watching this game right now, Joe. Dodgers played the Rays yesterday and they scored 21 runs combined, right? Those two teams. Well, the Rays got shut out today.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers right now are really trying to have a tough time against Williams and trying to get something on the board. It's baseball for you.
Yeah, funky. Yeah, it was Marcus Stroman of the Cubs today. The Rays flew up to Chicago last night and then got shut out 1-0. A one-hitter against Stroman. And the Dodgers finding Trevor Williams similarly tough. Strike 1 on David Peralta.
Well, right now they have one more hit than the Rays, so they have 2 hits.
That's true, by the transitive property.
But they don't really care because it's the 0 in front of in the runs department.
Scorched to short and caught by a leaping Abrams in a 1-2-3 4th inning for Williams.
Take on the Chicago White Sox, and the first 40,000 fans will receive a special Will Smith bobblehead presented by Security Benefit. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. And speaking of Will Smith, as well as of course Bobby Miller's on the mound today, after Bobby's major league debut, he told us that not only did he feel like he was confident in executing his pitches, he said that Will Smith was the reason that he was able to have so much success against that Braves lineup. And he told us that actually coming into this league, of course, a dream of his was to make his major league debut with the Dodgers. But another dream of his was to do it alongside and working with Will Smith, because the two of them are products of Louisville.
Fly ball to center field off of the bat of Keibert Ruiz, and an easy play for James Outman. That has turned into quite a factory there that they have in Louisville. Bobby Miller from McHenry, Illinois to Louisville, and Will, a hometown guy.
Number 5, C.J. Abrams.
We were talking about that in our pregame show. Jerry Harrison and I and John, when we were on there, and Jerry's like, well, they speak the same language.
Louisville.
He was saying Louisvillian. It was like, you know, we all wanted to hear what Jerry had to say. Like, okay, what are you going to come up with? And he has his own language at times too, but
for sure.
But it's true. I'm sure there is something that they can definitely bond over and feel quite comfortable with each other.
C.J. Abrams fouled off the first pitch. Now a good take on a changeup, and it's 1-1. It is a thing though. Like, it's not Louisville, it's Louisville.
Right.
Louisville. And I'm sure the people back in Louisville are saying, well, he doesn't quite have it right. Because
it's Jerry, too. So,
yeah. The 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Backside of the diamond. Mookie Betts gets paid a lot of money to catch balls in the air. Moving into the infield. Feeling right at home as that one settles to him. And 2 quick outs in this 5th inning. Bobby Miller at 63 pitches, 2 gone in the 5th, and he's given up just a run on 4 hits. And ready to rock as soon as Alex Call climbs in. Slider for a strike. Fastball destroys his bat. Chris Taylor picks it up. Low throw, but Freeman's there. An 8-pitch 5th inning for Bobby Miller, and halfway home in a 1-0 game. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. As we welcome you back here to Dodger Stadium. Nationals got a run in the 2nd. Dodgers looking for their first run of the game. Jason Hayward leads off against Trevor Williams, who's given up just 2 hits through 4. Yeah, done so very efficiently. Only 50 pitches. A little bit low. Ball 1 on Hayward. Dodgers 32-22 lead the Diamondbacks by a game in the National League West. Arizona already played today and won, beating Colorado. Nationals 23-30. 1-2. On 2-2, Hayward fouls it off.
Williams been trying to get that ball in the inner part for Hayward where it's off the plate where it can freeze him and kind of catch that corner. That pitch right there got more of the plate than he wanted to, and Hayward just missed it. There it is again. The ones he's been keeps coming in. Doesn't want him to get his hands extend, but he's trying to say freeze him and get that inside part where it runs back over the middle or over the corner of the plate.
He lost him. That is ball 4. Leadoff man aboard for the Dodgers. The guile of Williams. The flames of Bobby Miller. Here's how different those 2 fastballs are.
Look at the difference there. That also translates as far as reaction time is concerned. Also when you're able to see pitches. But the other thing, though, is that 90.3 mile per hour, that 4-foot, that's why you see some of these Dodgers also hitting the end of the bat out in front just a little bit.
Below hitting speed these days. Average major league fastball is 94. 1-0 on Vargas. Now they're getting thrown less than ever by quite a wide margin. Lowest percentage of fastball usage the game has ever seen, but when they're getting thrown really hard. So this is different. Ground ball up the middle. Abrams can't get there. Hayward heads for 3rd, and what a gift for the Dodgers. Instead of a double play to wipe the bases clean, they've got him 1st and 3rd and nobody out.
This ball was hit hard, and it was kind of a routine double play here where you just kind of come up with that, and it's a flip to second base. But it just ends up hitting the heel of Abrams' glove. And I'll tell you, Jason Hayward did an excellent job recognizing that when he was getting the second base, because he did not hesitate and gets to 3rd base.
Overall, we mentioned the Nationals defense has been much improved this season, but some key errors the last few days. Outman lifts the ball the other way. Towards the corner goes Dickerson. He is there. Hayward tags up, heads for the plate. Throw goes into second, and they wait one pitch to take advantage of the air and tie the game.
Great job by James Outman, getting a pitch he could handle, getting it to the outfield. Beautiful sacrifice fly, high fives all around. Corey Dickerson did the right thing over there in the outfield, recognized he really had no chance at home. He made a good, strong throw to second. Vargas was looking to possibly take second base. He got a good tag in secondary off first. We're going to go right now and look to see if he was off first base. They went for a tag here, and it looked like Vargas kind of was gathering himself when he went back to first. So that's why they're on the phone right now to see if he came off.
And you can see, you can read the lips there. You can't see.
Yeah. I don't think you'd see. I don't agree with having a call to have somebody tell you or not. You just decide. If you want to use your challenge, go for it. If you don't.
Also, wouldn't it be cool to have video create an out on this play? Well, Chris Taylor, who just missed a home run his last time. Check swing foul here. Vargas was off and running and had a good jump. We'll have to go back, and it's 0-2. Dodgers tying the game with a walk, an error, and a sacrifice fly here in the fifth. Opportunistic. Tie the game up. And now Taylor coming off his 2 home run game yesterday. In an 0-2 hole. Bounces this one foul.
Well, Taylor's first at bat, we were talking about, Joe, where he just missed. I thought a home run, just got off the bat, got the ball off the end of the bat, took a great swing. It was a pitch over the middle of the plate. It was a mistake, just missed it.
To third, Candelario goes to second. Garcia to first, not in time. Taylor legs it out, and a fielder's choice.
You know, they're hustling down to the phone again to see if they're going to challenge this one. But looking at it, it looked like he was safe there.
Batting for the Dodgers, shortstop.
And now a quick word from Morongo.
Flamingo Fridays, SoCal's best nighttime pool party.
Tie game in the fifth. Dodgers about to get their third look at Trevor Williams. It's Mookie Betts. And it's ball one. Betts is 0 for 1, grounded out and then walked. See if Chris Taylor takes off at some point early in the count here. Tries to get into scoring position for Mookie. He's 4 for 4 in stolen bases this year. And again, Ruiz has had his issues. Sharply hit, base hit. 2-out single, Mookie Betts. And they're at first and second.
This ball's down and in. Mookie does an excellent job putting a great swing, bringing the hands in nicely, getting the barrel to that ball, driving it to left field.
So aboard for the second time tonight, Freddie Freeman has a 2-out chance here. Freeman was up there with 2 away against Williams in the third inning, worked a long at bat, worked the count full, then grounded out. Another RBI chance and another chance to extend that hitting streak. Taylor at second, Betts at first. Good speed out there. Williams comes home, and Freeman fights it off foul.
Dodgers have been excellent this year with 2-out RBIs. Freddie Freeman's a big reason for that because he too has been excellent in those situations, trying to come through once again.
1-1. Down the line, and a fair ball to give the Dodgers the lead. Freddie Freeman delivers again. A 2-out RBI double. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in, and the Dodgers lead 3-1.
If I remember correctly, Joe, in his first at-bat, he was coming up in the same situation. I think he was coming into that at-bat around 300 in these situations, hitting with 2 outs, 2 strikes, man in scoring position, getting it all done, and man, coming through once again, just getting it down the line and knocking in both runs.
Sets a new franchise record for doubles in a calendar month. His 17th in May. His hitting streak is 18 games. And the Dodgers have scored 3 times in the 5th to turn this one around. 2-0 on Smith.
I'd say it's one thing to knock in the guy in from second. It's the other thing to be able to hit the ball to the wall and knock in Mookie Betts from first base. But I'll tell you, watching guys with speed like Mookie, watching them run the bases, like getting the 3 bases is pretty because their turns, the way they hit the bases, how quickly they get around, the angles they take around those bases. I mean, he got home standing up.
On a 2-2, Smith takes outside. Count goes full. Dodgers only have 3 base runners over the first 4 innings against Trevor Williams. 3 runs in this 5th. On a payoff, Smith fouls it off. And he takes the walk. Second of the inning, 3rd of the game issued by Williams. And they brought 8 men to the plate in this 5th.
Designated hitter, J.D. Martinez.
J.D. Martinez came into this game red hot, but Williams has struck him out both times. 2 of his 3 Ks in this game. Here's a visit from Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. And while they have a chat, we get a quick word from Carl's Jr.
Famous Star Burger. Tonight, my rewards members get exclusive offers on the Carl's Jr. app.
Now, one of the reasons the Nationals have been so much better this season, their pitching has improved a ton, especially in the rotation. They had a .597 ERA in the rotation last year. It's .443 this year. Not great, but 1.5 better. And over the last month, they've ranked 3rd in the National League. Action in the bullpen. That's Andres Machado. And Martinez takes a ball. Boy, a few minutes ago it would have been unthinkable to have action in that bullpen with the way that Trevor Williams was cruising. But the air opens the door here in the 5th. Dodgers have walked right through it. And now Martinez sends one in the air to deep center field, fading to right center and over the wall for a home run. They break it open. A 3-run shot from J.D. Martinez. And it's a 6-run 5th inning. And for J.D. Martinez, his 6th home run in his last 9 games.
I mean, he gets the ball up in the zone. Excellent job not trying to pull this ball, staying on the ball and driving it to right center. Great swing, head down.
And extends his hitting streak to 13 games.
About 2 guys coming in, riding hitting streaks. Freddie Freeman, J.D. Martinez, both swinging a hot bat. So important. Have your DH like J.D. Martinez just producing the way he is, having a major impact in this lineup.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what he's turned into since coming off of the injured list. Missing the 2 weeks with a back injury. Even though he's missed 15 games, this one's flexed into right center and the beat goes on. Peralta makes the turn, throws on the brakes. But anyways, even though he missed 15 games with a back issue, only Max Muncy has driven in more runs than J.D. Martinez.
Peralta's a strong man. He fights this one off, gets in on the hands, but he's strong enough to just get it right over the second baseman.
Trevor Williams has to be playing a game of what if at this point as he faces Jason Heyward for the 2nd time in this inning. He got ahead of Heyward 1-2 and then walked him. And then, of course, the error on C.J. Abrams. And the Dodgers have scored 6 runs. Heyward, the 10th man to bat in the inning, and all the runs are unearned because of the error. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think 2 things that got Williams. 1, obviously the error by Abrams, and 2, whatever his pitching coach told him, because right after that it was the home run.
Yeah, you talk about a good visit when a guy throws a strike, strikes somebody out.
That was a good visit. Great visit. I don't know, whatever you told them. And then when you give up the home run, like, not so good.
Those are the ones you hope they don't bring up in arbitration for the pitching coach. 2-2.
I'm sure somebody's keeping track of that somewhere, right?
Yeah.
How many hits are given up after a mound visit by a particular coach?
He had thrown 50 pitches over the first 4 innings, 38 in this 5th inning. On a 2-2, he's way inside, ball 3. It is unraveled on him. The payoff. Just got under it on the left side of the infield. Easy one for Abrams to bring this 5th inning to a close. Dodgers take advantage of the Washington mistake and score 6 unearned runs to turn this game around. To the 6th we go. Dodgers up 6-1.
Shakey's Pizza is celebrating educators with the 2023 Spectrum Sports Educator Sweepstakes. 8 winners will receive a $50 gift certificate from Shakey's Pizza plus a teaching kit. Enter online at spectrumeducator.com.
Well, different feeling for Bobby Miller going out there in this case. He's pitching fantastic. He shouldn't have any support. And then the Dodgers got him 6 runs in the 5th inning. And so here he goes into the 6th for the first time in his very short major league career. Didn't get the call there. Ball 2 on Lane Thomas.
Didn't get the call, but that was a great pitch, great location. Now that you're up by 5 runs, you want to continue to make quality pitches and pound in the strike zone.
It does get the call there.
Okay.
And
That a makeup call, maybe?
Yeah. Roxon fires 2-2. Just outside. Payoff.
It's a good job right here. You don't want to give up a leadoff walk after your team just scored all those runs for you. You want to go out there. I know you're 3-2, but go ahead, say, I'm going to challenge you. You got to earn your way on.
Out of the 3-2, Lane Thomas tries to lay off, but he went around in strike 3, third of the game for Miller.
Second baseman Luis Garcia.
Better angle. They got it right. He did go around. And that ball seemed to have more run on it. Like it ended up just taking off, like a late life to it.
Ball 1 on Garcia.
I think Lane Thomas thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that ball just ran in on me.
We can learn a lot about hitters' reactions. 2-0 on Garcia. There's the old baseball cliche, Nomar, that baseball will humble you quickly. How about Luis Garcia on Friday night going 6 for 6 and 0 for 12 since?
It definitely does that. That's why we always talk amongst ourselves, and you do it as best you can as you try to stay even keel. Don't ride the highs too high. Don't ride the lows too low. Just try to stay even.
4-pitch walk here. And the first free pass issued by Miller.
Third baseman Jeimer Candelario.
It's a good mound visit right here. Go talk to him. Try to settle him down.
Well, this is obviously great for Bobby Miller, seeing what he's done in his 2 starts, but as great as it is for Bobby, it's even better for the team because they are desperate for some of these young guys to settle in and pitch some strong innings for him. As depleted as the rotation is, Candelario takes a strike.
Good job coming back after that 4-pitch walk. Like we talked about, go ahead. You got a 5-run lead. Now I know you gave up that free pass, but keep pounding the zone. He's done an excellent job up into this inning, being very efficient.
Candelario came in hitting well above 400 over the last couple weeks. He's 0 for 2 today. Garcia's at first, 1 gone, 1-1 pitch. 2-1. Driven to right. Hayward is right there.
There you go. Continue pounding the zone. Yeah, that ball was hit hard. That was a line drive to right field. But you just got to think, well, that's an out. That's what I want. I want to go out there, keep being efficient. Through 5 innings, he was averaging 13 pitches an inning.
2 gone for Meneses. Couldn't lay off. 1-1. Meneses singled in the second inning, scored Washington's run. And it was 1-0 until last half inning. Dodgers got those 6 runs, 6 unearned runs against Trevor Williams. The Nats DH Meneses on this 1-1 pitch. Swings and misses, flailing into curve, and it's 1-2 as he dips deep into that arsenal. Down the line, foul. Another 1-2 pitch. Leaves that fastball upstairs, and the count evens. Bobby Miller trying to move to 2-0 through 2 starts as a big leaguer. 6-1 lead, 6th inning, 2-2 to Joey Meneses. His tapped foul.
Remember his last outing, he was talking about, and he was nervous, focus on his breathing. You see him right there. Okay, take a deep breath. Regroup. This is big. Just continue. 2-2. Once again, trust your stuff. You're in a good spot here. No free passes. Pound the zone.
Another 2-2. Got him. Softest toss of the night. Finishes off Joey Meneses in 6 innings for Bobby Miller. Just 1 run in his Dodger Stadium debut. Steelers, you've got to kind of dive inside to see how this unfolded. The error on Abrams opens the door for 6 unearned runs for the Dodgers to change this game.
You know, obviously it's one thing about the error, but it's another thing for the Dodgers to go out there and have quality at bat after quality at bat right after that and take advantage of the mistake.
Yeah, and they're over there talking to Bobby Miller. It goes 6 innings, gives up just 1 run. Based on the reactions over there, looks like he may be finished. He's at 87 pitches. But another very encouraging start. And his second game in the big leagues. Here's Will Smith, his battery mate, again guiding him through. And probably no congratulations more meaningful than that last one there. Clayton Kershaw coming up and telling Bobby Miller great job. 6-1 game into the Nationals bullpen. Thaddeus Ward spins one outside for ball 1 on Miguel Vargas. Ward is 26 years old, out of Fort Myers, Florida. Reaching the major leagues for the first time this year. Tosses 2-0 and misses ball 3. Mike Pryor, Connor McGinnis, pitching coaches. 3-1. Two. Dodgers have won 14 of the last 20 matchups between these two teams since the Nationals won the 2019 World Series. Got these 3 games here. They'll meet again in D.C. early September. Well, the 3-2 to Vargas, swung on and missed, and a strikeout to open the 6th.
Center fielder, James Outman.
James Outman got the monkey off his back, breaking the 0 for 18 with a base hit on the first pitch that he saw tonight, and then had a sacrifice fly to tie the game.
Not wasting any time. Both of them were on the first pitch. And 2 pitch. That was a third pitch. Come on, you should be standing on first now.
Yes, long at bat going. 2-0.
He may come out of his shoes on this one.
Starting to feel good again.
A couple pitches. Now I'm in a hitter's count. Just get one where you just let it all out.
On 2-0. Took a strike.
See, I told you, why not? I mean, even if you swing and miss, go for it. I mean, there was one. That was just a sinker, a little run, but maybe he was looking location more in. Like right there.
Yeah.
Where sometimes I'm like, okay, where are you looking? Because if you're looking in the other one, okay, well then continue looking in.
And then pops this elevated pitch up for Candelario. And out number 2. What do you remember, Nomar, about the way the league adjusted to you? Your first, I know you had the call up to debut, but then as you got into your career, experienced some success, the way they adjusted, the way they pitched to you.
Oh, I think it was a constant chess match. It was more about, okay, well, showing some power. We're not going to go in and challenge him in. He's able to turn on that fastball. So now it's that soft stuff away. So it's that slider away. Maybe they'll show me the fastball up and in, but then it's away. So then I had to learn to go, okay, I have to stay on the ball, trust, take my hits the other way. Did that. And making sure, you know, really buckling down when there's a man in scoring position. Sometimes just getting your hits the other way, then you find a way to bring them back into where you really want, where you can do some damage. So it's not always just the damage the other way. It's like just getting the hits. Sometimes they're looking like, well, now he's covering the outside half. Now maybe he's thinking outer half, so let's come back in. Where more it's just, I'm getting to it, I'll take my hits, but count like 2-0, like I'm looking in now, so because I'm expecting my pitch.
Close play at first, but in time to get Taylor in a 1-2-3 inning for Ward. Dodgers up 6-1 and join USAA in honoring our nation's fallen heroes.
All right, Dodger fans, take out your phones. It's time for the fan cam.
Nationals won as we welcome it back here to Dodger Stadium. Joe Davis, Nomar Garcia Park, Kirsten Watson. And into the bullpen the Dodgers go. Victor Gonzalez comes on to pitch.
Well, coming off a great outing by Bobby Miller, and then you're coming in still with a 5-run lead. We talk about what the Dodger bullpen does well, and they talk about it over there, is come in, trust your stuff, start throwing strikes, pound that zone. Got to do that right now.
Dominic Smith takes strike 1 from Gonzalez. Smith, a local guy from South Central Los Angeles. Went to J. Serra High School. Was the 11th overall pick out of there in 2013 of the New York Mets. Flares this one into left, down the line, foul. It was looked at as the first baseman of the future for the Mets. That was until they drafted Pete Alonso and he jumped onto the scene. Even then, Smith was doing some good things. It's a 300 hitter, 2019-2020 combined, had an OPS above 900 those 2 years. Last 2 years, though, really struggled, and the Mets let him go. And so signed this one-year contract with the Nationals, trying to show that he's still got it. Yeah, he's been hot lately. Overall, he's had a good first year in Washington. On an 0-2 from Gonzalez. He takes outside ball 1. Grew up obsessed with baseball, though you have to forgive him. He grew up in Southern California as an Angels fan. Just loving baseball, though. Kind of kid that would sleep with his glove, watch the games on TV in his full Little League uniform. Here's a little dribbler along first. Gonzalez gets there. His throw is in time to get Smith. Not an easy play.
What a great play by Gonzalez. One, recognizing this ball is not going to go foul. When you see this dribbler, you're looking at it, you're reading it, it's like, is it possibly going foul? So it was going to be fair. The other thing I'll tell you, as a first baseman here, Freddie Freeman, you are scared to death. You're going, okay, where is this ball going to come out? How hard is it going to come out at me? And then is it going to be up the line as I see the runner coming in? So great job by Victor Gonzalez spinning around. And also, you know, it was firm, but it wasn't just, you know, all I got, here it goes,
No.
so he can handle.
The perfect firmness.
It really, that was not easy. There's a lot going on there.
Strike one on Corey Dickerson. And now ball one. And he got such a short amount of time to react. Whatever it's going to be when you're Freddie, that's a 40-foot throw.
Yeah, I'll tell you, as a first baseman, you know, or as anybody, you're going, okay, be on your toes, ready to react. And as that ball keeps creeping up the line more and more,
in the air to center field, James Outman.
and you see the pitcher grabbing the ball and he's about to spin and throw, all of a sudden your weight goes from your toes kind of on your heels, like, oh no, what's coming at me? And you're trying to stay in that athletic position, and you're just going to get back, and then all of a sudden it's a ball you can handle, and you kind of breathe a sigh of relief.
It's like the rambunctious kid that walks at you with his arm cocked. And you know he's going to throw it. You just don't know exactly when or how accurate he is. Ruiz, switch hitter, flips around, bats right-handed for the first time today. First pitch, ball one. Cabrera 0 for 2, like many of these Nationals are, since C.J. Abrams had the RBI single in the second. That's a 1 for 15. One pitch. Strike two. In the air to center field, Outman again. A couple line shots, but hit him to the wrong spot. James Outman caught them both. Back for the bottom of the seventh inning, brought to you by Energizer. Dodgers, on the strength of a 6-run fifth inning, have a 6-1 lead. And they've got the top of the order coming to the plate against Thad Ward here in the seventh. Mookie Betts, who's got a walk and a single, takes ball one from Ward. A couple former Boston Red Sox here. Mookie, of course, at the highest level. Thad Ward is one of their top prospects. Ward went from kind of obscurity as a Red Sox prospect to breaking out in the low minors, but then had the lost 2020 season, then had Tommy John surgery, and then last year was placed on waivers, picked up in the Rule 5 draft eventually, and making his debut with the Nationals. His 1-2 to Betts is lifted to left center field. Corey Dickerson is there. Seen a couple balls just hooked off the end of the bat tonight. One gone in the seventh inning. Time for our Energizer player profile. Freddie Freeman with another base hit. Another double. 73 hits to lead the major leagues. And he's got a chance here, Nomar, over the final few days to set a Dodger record for the most hits before the start of June.
Joe, I don't see him slowing down. I mean, Freddie Freeman, that's what he does. He just goes out there, hits, just trying to have a quality at bat each and every time he's up there. And it's one thing to just get hits. The other thing, get extra base hits, driving the ball out of the ballpark, doing it all.
He's one of those guys, Nomar, where when you watch him every day, your appreciation for him just goes through the roof, because everybody around baseball recognizes him as one of the best players, and we always appreciated him watching him play in Atlanta. But to see all the little nuances that his game brings, you've got to see him every day to fully appreciate that.
Yeah, the way it is when guys are in scoring position, whether their infield's back and there's a guy at third base, less than 2 outs, and just, hey, I just got to get a ground ball. I just got to find a way to get him in, to taking the extra base, going first to third.
Skies this one down the line. Won't be easy for anybody. It's going to be Garcia who made it look much easier than it was.
The other thing, too, is Freddie Freeman, when he hits a ground ball through the infield and he turns that into a double. You know, it's just doesn't assume it's just a single and jogging down to first. He's hustling that. All those little things, as your teammate, you're watching and appreciate. And you can appreciate that catch there too as an infielder, because that's not easy, and he made it look really easy. It's like, all right, like right there, just got it.
Yeah, just to finish that thought on Freeman, Omar, the other part of it is how you see it become contagious for the rest of the team. All those little things he does that you see the younger players and even the other veteran players implementing. One-0 to Will Smith outside.
Yeah, when you see a guy like Freddie Freeman, who you respect, as you mentioned, because you know he's a great player, you see that on the other side, and you see the numbers that he's accumulating. You know, you know, this game is all about numbers. You look at your stats, you're trying to do that. You're thinking about whether you're a free agent, not. You're trying to accumulate them, but you go, oh, those numbers, he's not even thinking about those. He's just going out there and just playing his game. And so it's hard not to, you know, it's unselfish. So you don't want, you look at that and you're like, well, if I start just thinking about myself, it's going to show because of the way he's playing. So you want to go out there and go, I need to play that way.
Yeah, when your best players are also your best examples, that's a good thing. On 2-2, Smith swings and misses. A rare multi-strikeout game for Smith, but guys around him have done plenty. And a 6-1 lead after 7.
This Memorial Day, we honor those who sacrificed their lives for our country and our freedoms. And for Dave Roberts, today is incredibly special because his father was a member of the Marine Corps and served for 30 years. And today, Dave had the opportunity to speak with about 40 Marines from 10 different units throughout Southern California. And Dave told us that speaking to them, it made him emotional because he talked about just some of the lessons that he learned being raised in a military family, and also how those lessons have attributed to a lot of his success, not only as a major league player, but also today as a major league manager, guys.
All right, great stuff, Kirsten. Yeah, Dave growing up in that military family. He was born in Okinawa, Japan, but bounced around from Japan to several spots in California as a kid. Lived in North Carolina for a while. Justin Brule to C.J. Abrams. That's ball 1. And back to San Diego for high school. There was actually a time where Dave thought he might follow in his father's footsteps and go to the Air Force Academy to play football. The Air Force, long tradition as an option offense, and Dave was a great option quarterback in high school. So he didn't have any baseball offers, and they offered him to come play football there. But then he drove to UCLA to see if they had any interest in taking him on as a walk-on on the baseball field, and got his opportunity that way. But with the lessons instilled by his father, he thinks about all the time. Brule to Abrams with a strike, and it's 2-2. Brule got off to a great start this season for the Dodgers, put up 0s in 7 of his first 8 games, but he's given up 7 runs in his last 5 2/3. And tied here, count goes full. Like a lot of the pitchers lately, the offense has been clicking, but the team's ERA during the 10-game road trip is above 7. It is stark, the difference in home ERA versus road ERA for this team. Sharply hit, but fielded by Vargas. From short right field, he gets Abrams.
That's a really nice play by Miguel Vargas. Ranging to his left, sliding, staying with it.
Center fielder Alex Call.
Great job snagging that ball. The confidence that he has over at second base. And then once he spins around, and he's got the internal clock of recognizing I have time, let me gather myself to make a good throw.
Miguel out there every day working early.
And I know he came up, he was more of a corner infielder, and then they moved him over to second base. But now watching him, you know, it's one thing you can see a guy going, okay, when you watch them play that middle infielder and you kind of see the way they move and their mannerism, you're like, all right, that's kind of a corner guy playing second base. And I think early on it kind of looked, now he looks like a second baseman. I mean, just his movement, his manners, his jumps, his anticipation around second for a double play. His hands are so quick, and the way he turns it, it really is impressive. He's no longer a third baseman playing second. He's a second baseman.
Yeah, we talk about the work that he puts in hours before the game each day, taking ground balls over there, working on double play turns. So that's credit to him for the work that he's put in. It's also credit. He's another champion of what the Dodgers strength and conditioning and that whole group does, led by Brandon McDaniel, the sports science group, finding ways to better use that long frame to get him into better positions to play that position, because that's one of the reasons why you look at a corner infielder and say, can he play second? It's different. Long limb, tall guy trying to play the middle infield. How can you best use what you've got? And they've got scientific ways to help him do that. That's shot through the left side and a 2-out base hit for Lane Thomas. A quick word from Jack in the Box.
Ribeye Steakhouse burgers are made with 100% ribeye beef. Think of them as the CEO of burgers.
And he gets Garcia to the plate. That, by the way, extended Lane Thomas's hitting streak to 14 games. On base streak to 25 games. Two and on Garcia. Series continues tomorrow. Back to the traditional weekday start time, 7:10. The Catman goes for the Dodgers with his 1.82 ERA against Jake Irvin. And the finale is a day game Wednesday. Syndergaard for LA, Patrick Corbin for the Nats. Chopper, Vargas. That's the inning. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. And good times coming this weekend. The New York Yankees are in town for a 3-game series you're not going to want to miss. Such rich history between these two clubs that have faced off in the World Series many times. And now going to get to see these teams face off each season in the regular year with the new balanced schedule. Go to Dodgers.com/tickets. As Erasmo Ramirez comes into the game. Who's in, who's out, brought to you by In-N-Out.
Well, the Dodgers going out there, their second relief pitcher they are facing, trying to go, okay, can we tack on maybe some insurance runs here?
JD Martinez has got 1 home run tonight, just off the end of the bat here.
That was like he was. Oh.
That's dodge a bullet there. Thomas makes the catch. Hope he's okay, though.
Right now he's probably catching his breath. Go, boy, that could have been really ugly. JD Martinez going, all right, new pitcher coming in, probably wants to throw strikes, pound the zone. I'm going to ambush him, and he gets underneath it as we look at that one. And those guys, wow, just missed from being something really, really scary.
Left fielder, number 6, Peralta.
Those are two of the key pieces of the Nationals rebuild right there, too. Garcia at second and Thomas in right. So 1 pitch for Erasmo Ramirez to get the first out. 33-year-old out of Nicaragua, home to David Peralta with the ball. Ramirez in his 12th year in the major leagues. Second one with the Nationals. Had a career year last year. Deals a 1-0 pitch. It's pulled foul. Speaking of those Yankees, they started their West Coast swing tonight. They've got an 8-2 lead on the Mariners in the 5th inning as Aaron Judge has hit his 16th home run. Judge and Harrison Bader came off of the injured list on May 2nd. And the Yankees have won 17 of 25 since then. Problem is, everybody else in the division has too. Last place team in the American League East, 28 and 26. The Blue Jays. That's a strike, 2-2 on Peralta. So the Yankees, Nomar, 32 and 23, but they're 7 games back.
Right.
At first, Smith, 2 out.
Oh,
And now a quick word from Nissan.
This Dodgers broadcast is brought to you by the 2023 Nissan Frontier. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Shelby Miller over there warming up in the bullpen. You were talking about those Yankees being 7 games back, Joe, and you're looking at their record. Well, Dodger fans got to look as why when they just finished playing the Rays.
Yeah,
those guys.
You get it. Strike on Hayward. That was probably your deepest look at the Rays yet. What is it for you that allows them to do what they do?
I tell you, they have really solid pitching, good bullpen, but that lineup up and down.
Yeah.
Not an easy out in any part of that lineup. Freddie Freeman and Jason Hayward share entertaining stories about their time coming up together in the Braves organization and discuss reuniting as teammates on the Dodgers. And top pitching prospect Bobby Miller joins the team in Atlanta to make his major league debut. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers this Friday.
Yeah, Bobby Miller, of course, started this game. Shelby Miller will look to finish it and try to get Bobby to 2-0 through 2 starts in the big leagues. What a first season with the Dodgers it's been for this man.
I mean, almost like he's just been rejuvenated in the confidence that he has going out there. And I'd say also just, he's a veteran guy going out there in the bullpen. I know early on was a lot as a starter, but I think he's just embraced this entire environment and going, man, this is like almost like there's a belonging here, and it shows when he goes out there and pitches.
Jeimer Candelario leads off, and that has been the pitch that, first of all, is the pitch that attracted the Dodgers to him when he had that little cup of coffee with the Giants last year. That fastball was so good, and it's the pitch that he's rode to this early dominance. Not going to break the radar gun, but mid-90s, hard to pick up, and guys just have not been able to hit it. Whether it's right-handers or left-handers, righties are well below 100. Left-handers are hitting 135 against him. Candelario strokes his base hit into center field to lead off the 9th.
Candelario does a good job staying on this ball. Now we were just talking about his fastball. He throws him a fastball, and then here goes a changeup, and it's tailing away from him, and he doesn't pull off, stays on it, and hits, barrels that up, and hits it hard to center.
That gets Meneses to the plate. He pops first one up. Vargas very busy night over there at second base. Easy play here. Time for the Nissan calendar. We're talking about the pitching matchups the rest of this series. Tony Gonsolin, Jake Irvin tomorrow. Noah Syndergaard, Patrick Corbin on Wednesday. And then the Yankees come in. Clayton Kershaw's got it on Friday. Garrett Cole's going to go for the Yankees on Saturday. 1-on-1 out in the 9th inning. Dominic Smith takes off on Miller for ball 1. And so returning home was the cure for the Dodgers. 4-6 on the road trip. You want to play 500 ball on the road, but this team has set a high bar for itself over the last now decade. And even with the good teams they played, you come away 4-6 feeling like there was more there. But they come back here home, and with a 6-run 5th inning, 2 outs away from starting this homestand with a win.
Joe, and I think about that road trip. We talked about you're facing a hot Cardinals team, and then you're facing the Braves and the Tampa Bay Rays. Two of the best teams in baseball as far as records are concerned. You know that. You're like, you came back 500. You'd be saying that's a good road trip. Because talk about being 500 on the road, and they're just one game shy of that. They were one game shy of that, and yet I think there might have been 2 games where you're going, man, they really could have maybe gone their way, that they could have maybe possibly pulled off.
Two to Smith. Tapped along first. Easy one for Freeman. That's a fair ball that he'll take to the bag. And the Nats are down to their last out. One first baseman to another. 2 gone in this 9th inning. And the story tonight, again, Bobby Miller. 5 innings to get the win in his Dodger debut and his big league debut last week, and here in his first regular season game at Dodger Stadium, even a notch better against a lineup not as potent. But he was excellent. 6 innings, just the 1 run. Outside ball 1 on Dickerson. Two and one. We mentioned that Bobby was the first Dodger to win his debut since Jose De Leon in 2016. De Leon also won his 2nd game and only pitched in 2 more games for the Dodgers. So Bobby will now be the first Dodger since De Leon in 2016 to win his first 2. Jose's won just 2 games in 7 years since then, going from the Rays to the Reds, now the Twins. Here's a 2-1 pitch and a strike. 2-2 on Dickerson. Three-two. He walked him.
Catcher number 20, Caleb Ruiz.
No, Shelby Miller's frustrated, going out there going, man, I have a lead, 2 outs, man. I'm on second. I can't give any free passes here.
Well, the Nationals refusing to go away quietly. 2 on 2 out for Ruiz. It takes ball 1. This has been the personality of this team. Not an easy out. Within innings, within games, within the season at this point. Playing above 500 baseball over the last month. Team that a lot of people figured would be kind of the National League version of the Oakland A's. But they're only a game back of the pace the Padres are playing. Driven to deep center field. Outman's going back to the track. He's got room to end the night. 6 innings from Bobby Miller, 6 unearned runs for the Dodgers in the 5th inning, and a 6-1 return to Dodger Stadium.
You cannot give good teams extra outs, and that's exactly what the Nationals did for the Dodgers, and they took advantage of it. In that 6th inning, they were outstanding, going on that air, once again getting 5 runs with 2 outs, adding to the lead in the National League in that category, and the pitching staff, from Bobby Miller setting the tone to the bullpen doing an excellent job. Great win for the Dodgers.
Plays of the game brought to you by your Southern California Volkswagen dealers. Just looking back at Bobby Miller's night as he improves to 2-0 in the big league, striking out 4 over his 6 innings of work and giving up just the 1 run in the 2nd inning. He is 2-0. He is 1-0 at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers will go for the series win tomorrow. Behind the Catman, Tony Gonsolin facing off with Jake Irvin at 7:10. For Nomar Garciaparra, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. And we'll talk to you tomorrow night after this 6-1 Memorial Day win for the Dodgers.